Welcome to the Realist Show Out. This is the only place where you get the realest people in society, the realest guests that give you the realest explanations and viewpoints of what's happening in our community. Today we have another special guest, one of the most realest people I know.
Come on, G. Txrner, TX, you know the vibes. Barkin's in the building.
Come on, man. Big round of applause for Txrner, man. Thank you for joining us. First question is, what can we do to empower young people in a helpless society?
That's a good question. I think, first of all, it needs opportunities that's being created for the youth. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like some companies, they create opportunities, but it's not necessarily 100% for the youth. It might be for their branding or their this or their that. But things like in Barking, we have things like Box Up Crime and
yeah, big round of applause for that, man. Big
like Studio Free Arts.
Big up, man.
Like Studio Free Arts is another one that works in Barking. So
give him back, man.
Look at Stephen calling me. Stephen from Box Up. But yeah, man. So yeah, definitely building opportunities and companies that help the youth, for sure.
That's important. That's what v4yav is all about. And collaborate with companies that give back, man. And that's fantastic, man. Next question, number 2. Why are we still fighting for civil human rights in 2021?
I think the main thing is greed. Like, people are just greedy for things that other people might not deem necessary, but to them is necessary. So when it comes to like human rights and stuff, you would think it's the obvious to just be equal, innit? But when there's things like greed and people want power, and there's levels to this, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? If life is based on the pyramid structure, then someone's always going to be at the bottom.
But why, I feel like, especially as black people, why are we always at the bottom? Especially in 2021, why are we targeted? For example, if we're walking down the street, a group of 5 young black boys, we're more likely to be stopped statistically by police than if it was a group of white boys. Why is that still in 2021?
Stereotype, racism.
Facts.
Yeah, those are the 2 main things. I
But
think
still in 2021.
Yeah, I think to change that, you kind of have to. The oppressor has to understand that it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Is the oppressor gonna understand after all this time? Post-slavery, we're still living like that?
I mean,
Are they ever gonna understand?
we're still in slavery, so it's not post-slavery. The
slavery,
it's just the type of slavery has
The
changed.
shackles and chains, and
Yeah,
that's on our minds,
yeah,
and on our incomes and access to opportunities. But why is that still in 2021? You've touched on it, stereotype. You made great points.
Yeah, I think it's
Can we even find a reason? Is there even a reason for this?
Not necessarily. I don't think there is a factual reason for why this is still happening, but I feel like one of the reasons would be because of the oppressor, innit?
Yeah,
the oppressor's mentality is to just control, and to control you gotta do, as far as they see, anything and everything to keep control, innit?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Question number 3. Why do police overuse their power when dealing with local communities?
I had to play that delicately.
This is the Realist Show. Tell us.
The first thing that came into my head, you know what I'm saying? I think
we'll talk. This is the Realist Show Out. We'll talk. Why are the police overusing their authority?
You know what it is, yeah? When it's just a human thing, innit? When we have power, we kind of, I don't know. There's. I feel like some people should be in power, not a whole company should be in power. I think that, like, because even within the police force, there's levels, isn't it? Yeah. So there's levels to it. So even they know, yo, we can't cross the line with my man, but we can cross the line with this brother, cause he's just any brother, innit? But I think that they need to understand that that's not just any brother. You get me? That's someone's son, that's someone's brother, that's someone's dad, you get it? But
let me ask you a question. Do you feel that we should defund the police? Do you feel that's a good idea or a bad idea? That be beneficial?
I think it's a bad idea.
Do you? Why?
Because the police's job is more than just looking for gang members and people that are selling drugs, innit? So I feel like defunding them isn't the smartest move. I think that retraining them.
But it seems like that's what they're trained to do.
Is the But retraining them is definitely the
education.
Yeah, man. Like, bro, if you're a Fed out there, come to one of these box up sessions.
Make your way to box up.
You get me? Come to one of these.
Come learn something.
These V4 sessions. These interviews. Come and learn some stuff because it's deeper than
us, man.
You get me? If we're basing it on
talk about.
If we're basing it on race, yeah,
things to do with.
You know what I'm saying? If we're basing it on race, how is the race of the oppressor? I don't want to use whites and Caucasians and all that.
Is this beaver? What's the realist show out?
Yeah, but
white supremacy. This
but
something that's wrong.
It can also be deeper than that because that's the global perception. But bro, in Asia it happens, bro. Like there's Asian man that are oppressing other Asian people, so it's deeper than that. So I'm saying when it comes to training and mentality and stability, retraining the mind, the best way to do that is to forget what you've been taught. Do you get me? And be open to relearning things that are not taught to you in the first place. Like some of these people.
That is facts, and that's one of our main mottos: is that behaviours learn, so it can be unlearned.
Yeah.
So if you've got bad behaviour, we can unlearn that. Yeah. That's facts. That's
I remember a couple of years ago. I see a video of this white woman that she was talking to a class of.
In fact, sorry to interrupt you, here. Behaviours learn communication. Behaviours can be unlearned and relearned. Just to relate what you were saying, the facts you were talking about.
You know what I'm saying? So,
you're talking the realist talk right now.
Yeah, bro. Like there was this video of this white woman and she was talking to the white class and she was saying about if you was a black person, would you want to be treated in the way that police treat black people? And no one answered the question. Which means that everyone knew that something is wrong here. Do you get what I'm saying?
Another big point.
Everyone knows that something's wrong, so why is no one trying to, you get what I'm saying? So it's just about retraining, relearning, and being accepting to the faults that you have done, because it is the oppressor's fault. And then redoing the mind, innit? You know what I'm saying?
Retraining the mind, renewing the mind.
Yeah, renewing the mind, there you go.
In terms of equal opportunities in society, do you feel that race has a part to play?
In terms of equal opportunities, I think race has a part to play.
Do you feel that being from an ethnic minority community, being brown skin, Asian, black, that your access to opportunities are equal and fair?
Of course not.
In comparison to a Caucasian, Eastern European or European person?
Of course not.
And why do you think that is, bro? We know it's not, but why do you think it is, bro? And your own experiences, tell me.
Again,
talk to us,
in the land of which you're not a native. You get me? Like, my parents were born here, but their parents wasn't. You get me?
When rushed did they come over? Are they Caribbean?
My granddad was Caribbean, so he's from Dominica. So yeah,
probably.
My dad's.
Pick up Dominica, by the way.
Caribbean. My dad's side is Yoruba, so they're from Nigeria.
Pick up the Nigeria. Pick up as well. That's the motherland.
So, I don't think in that instance it was a slavery thing or anything. It was mainly based on education, innit?
Yeah.
That here has the best education, so they wanted to come here to learn. But can you repeat the question again for a sec?
Does our race have a part to play in terms of having access to opportunities, that being equal or unequal?
Oh yeah, no, of course not. But I think that you see these questions, they're difficult because the realisticness of what our answers aren't necessarily realistic, because as equal as we want life to be, life is about balance, isn't it? So for every good there will be a bad.
But if that bad is happening more to you statistically because you're a black or ethnic minority community member, Asian,
that's what I'm saying. That's when it becomes a techie thing, and
it's got to be a problem. It's got to be a problem.
That's a problem, bro.
We're not talking about once a week.
Yeah.
We're talking about 3-4 times a day. Because your skin colour is black or you look a particular way.
It's happened to me, bro. Like past experiences. You know what I'm saying?
Can you share some of? Can you share how you feel about that?
You know what's okay? I remember.
It's the Realist Show Out, by the way.
I remember a time it was me and my boy was gonna shoot a music video. I was in the car, he was driving, I was in the front seat. I had my Turkish boy in the back. and we was literally just driving normal, no speeding, no nothing, blue lights. Pulled us over and they said, we're stopping you for offensive weapons. Now, it's pretty confusing because how do you see an offensive weapon?
How do you, new technology, vision or something?
Do you get what I'm saying? Furthermore, there was no weapon in the car, there was no nothing. So on that moment, I knew. I said, "Yo, this is crazy." I even asked the Fed. Yeah,
culture already is making you think, "What's going on?"
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and that wasn't even the first time that had happened in that week, bro. Like, that was the second time. The first time it happened in the beginning of the week. They stopped us, and it was like, "We saw your car going round and round, brother. Is it illegal to go round the roundabout?" Twice, because we didn't know what exit to turn.
Any reason to stop?
Any reason? Do you get me? Then the woman just tried to open the car door. Now I know you're not allowed to do that. You get me? I did security. I did all of that. Like, my life has been a bit wild. I've done labouring. I've done security. I've done electrical. You get me? Work in the studio now, so I've been all over the gap.
But been busy, man.
But in that situation, when the woman tried to open the door, I held the door and closed the door. I said to her, "You're not allowed to do that. You get me? I know my rights. I know this. I don't know that." And eventually they walked off. But when they came the second time now, later on in the week, there wasn't really much we could do. Like, I couldn't really, because the card they played, we can't just be like, "Nah, what do you mean there's no offense? Like, we haven't got no weapons."
Then you're gonna fall into the trap.
Do you get me? So we just come out the car now, let them search us. As much as a violation as that is,
which it is a total
you kind of feel,
overuse.
It makes you feel small, innit? Like, man's a big man out here. You're out here touching man's leg and that, bruv. Like, talking about, yeah, there's offensive weapons in the car. Like, do you get what I'm saying? So I understand that, but will it ever be equal?
Probably never. Especially if we don't be doing these kind of shows and shedding light and education on it, it's never gonna change.
I think that the more I have a child, and my child is mixed. You get me? Like, his mum's white, so I think the more that mixed cultures are mixing, the less likely racism will happen. But for every mixed, there will be another, just one race, innit?
And that's got to happen in the right places. That multicultural has to happen in places of power and authority. Not just on the ground level. It's got to happen from hierarchy.
Yeah.
You know, really important to see change and filter down.
Yeah, for real.
I thought for a change to happen.
Bro, even in like the royal family and that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? With that whole Meghan Markle stuff and
politics,
it's all politics
as well.
You get me? It's too much politics, but they're basing it on race. But it shouldn't be that. It should be on character.
100%.
Martin Luther King said,
shouldn't judge people based on their colour skin, but on the content of their character. And
I have a dream today.
And we're going to live that out, you know, and this is part of even fulfilling that.
Yeah, bro.
You know, and having you on the show, the Realist Show Out again, the only place where you get the realest insights to the realest issues is on the show. And you really touched on some fantastic points. Moving on to the next question. Would you say that you learned the key skills needed to survive in today's society? Bearing in mind school, university and other opportunities, would you say you've got the right skills and learned the skills to survive in today's society?
No way.
That's honest and real. And what do you feel is missing?
No way.
Do you feel
I was never taught about tax.
Thank you. Was you taught about money management in school?
Nah.
How to set up a business? How to invest in a business?
Nope.
How to be an entrepreneur?
Nope. I feel like people that had to go through some stuff, whether it be illegal or legal, they had to go through some stuff for them to learn and then for them to teach us. I feel like that's wrong, innit? That's a major issue, fam.
And that's what.
Why did the man them have to go through all of this for them to say,
through the oppression, through all the being socially excluded to go learn what we could have learned years ago?
Yeah, bro. So,
for example, like, we weren't talking about credit. Schools, you've been failing us for generations. What about credit? Was you taught about credit?
Nah, but
how to maintain a good credit?
Okay, wait. I have a flip question for you. Is it the school's responsibility to teach you credit?
Well, I would say,
it's your home, isn't it? It's at home.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Why can't your parents teach you that? Why can't your parents teach you money management?
I did some showing. I don't think no, but you've got something to say. You said that shit. Alright. That's what I'm saying. I feel like, yeah, most definitely it's the school's responsibility. Because if you pay enough money and you go to a private school, you're gonna know about financial education. You're gonna know about money management. If you go to a private school.
But is that what you're paying for?
To get into that school, you definitely are paying for that. You're paying for that access and opportunities. What I'm trying to say is, if you go to a mainstream school or a state school, the education you're going to get in a state school and the support you're going to get in a state school is going to be nowhere in comparison to the support and opportunities you get in a private school.
Yeah, of course.
And the people that are going to private schools ain't coming from no estates on Hackney or no estate in Barking or no estate in Dagenham or no estate on Ilford or no estate in Brixton or Peckham.
No,
they're coming from affluent, rich, white families.
Yeah, so my answer back to that is, one, get your money up. Because that's how you get your kids into these private institutions.
Like generational wealth is something that's real. A lot of these kids that are getting their money up, they didn't get their money up. Their parents got their money up. And their parents' parents got their money up. And it goes all the way back to getting their money off the back of slaves.
Yeah.
Because that's how they got into this position.
In the first
and I'm not saying this in any belittling way.
Yeah.
We're like 400 or 500 years behind a lot of people. Because we've been they took they took captivity of our native tongue, captivity of our religion, of
culture,
our faith, our culture.
No clue. You see, like in Americans
that's real life
for
stuff.
Me, Americans have it deeper than English. Cause them lot are lost.
Tell them why.
They have no clue about their granddads, where their granddads from, and that's close, bro. Your granddad, that's your mum's parent. Like, I know my granddad's from Dominica and he has family over there and Set man, and even over here though, to be honest, they don't have a clue, bro. So I hear that. But back to the school and the institution and how to why they don't teach tax and why they don't teach this is because you're not made. The system isn't made for you to become a boss in it. It's made for you to become a worker.
100%.
So, our game.
You allow it to. Like,
yeah.
About the education.
It's a trap, innit? Like, it's definitely a trap because from time that you're capped hours. Like, what if I work in Asda and I know that my bills are gonna be coming, but I'm only allowed to work 8 hours a day? What if I wanna work the 12? You get me? I'm not allowed to. Like,
and even if you do get into a certain income bracket, your tax
is higher.
60%.
That's a madness. You only knew that like a couple of years ago.
It's crazy.
I'm 23 now, bro. I'm gonna be 24 in November. Man only knew that like 21.
That's crazy. They don't teach you that.
So yeah, but I feel like like as my bro Teddy's saying, it's about your home, innit? Like, I'm a parent now, so it will be my job to teach my son tax.
100%.
It will be my job to teach my son pay your bills on time. It will be my job to say, yo, this is credit and this is what it does and this is how you build it and this is why you should build it and this is why you need to build it.
That's right.
Because the game that they want us to play, man's not playing. I've been played it. My parents have played it. We've all played it. So let's create the game for ourselves, innit?
They start educating in the home. They start
start really do that from the household, bro. Because even back to all of this police talk and all of this gang culture and all of this stuff, a lot of it starts from home. Like, I'm mentoring now, innit? Like, I mentor a lot of these youths, innit? And a lot of them, it's a one parent thing. Their dads are in jail, or their dad's done this, or their mums are on drugs, or you get what I'm saying?
The environment is terrible.
The environment is hideous.
It's dangerous.
You get me? So, from time it stems from home, it's an issue before it's even started.
Got to tackle the home, man.
You get me?
We've got to get together. We've got to start supporting each other.
For real,
start reaching out to community leaders.
You know, there's this one African saying, yeah, and it takes a village to raise a child.
Facts.
Over in England, over here, you know how hard it is to do that?
Because of the legislation they put in place.
You know how hard it is for your center, your environment to raise your child. Like,
they're taking that away.
It's gone. And even with the multiculturalism, as much as multiculturalism is like one of the best things that's happened to me, because I've got Romanian friends now, I've got Asian friends, I've got African, all over the gaff, yeah? But their teachings are different. You get me? That's the only part of multiculturalism that's an issue, is your teachings are different. You get me? A lot of people from the outside looking in think that stereotypically, the black parent will hit the child, or will make them put their hands up, or will make them do this, or make them do that. But it might not be a that thing, but for some people it is that, innit? And to the other culture, it's like, no, that's terrible, that's wrong, you shouldn't do that, but that's just the way they do it, innit? You know what I'm saying? So
I feel like it's when it goes past the line that there's got to be a boundary as well. It's got to be
of course. You see with punishment, there's got to be love in punishment, innit?
And time to reflect on it.
Yeah, and actually let me know. Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? Let me know, this is what you did wrong. This is how you
amend it.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we're missing that chance to amend it.
Yeah, for real.
Which is really important. And I feel like society do that, especially with giving us a criminal record. Because you pay the penalty.
That's mad, isn't it?
And you're still subject, and you're still stereotyped, and put at a disadvantage when you go to make a living and come out of that supposed rehabilitation which you don't receive in prison.
Yeah. I got a question for you though. Does that matter on the crime that you commit? So because basically what you're saying is
only God can judge
once you commit the crime and you've done the time,
that's the law.
The time should be spent, and there should be no record of.
Well, the record is by them giving you a record that disables you from moving on and rehabilitating your life, and that's the whole reason why you're supposed to go. That's the whole reason why you're supposed to go to prison. It's for rehabilitation, to come out and be a better person.
On paper.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But because you're not getting any support in prison, you're coming out, and not only are you coming out and you're at a disadvantage, you've also got a record of what you've done. So why was you then sentenced and given, for each crime in the law of England, for example, each crime has a penalty. So if a burglary, for example, you might get 12 months or 24 months. Aggravated burglary, you might get 5 years. If you've been given that from a judge, from a court of law, if you've been given that from a court of law, and you paid that, why are you coming out into society when you can't get a job because of what you've done?
I think because
and they punish you for that.
Because security, man. Certain man.
So not everyone changes as a person.
Not everyone changes though.
But if you are a person who wants to change, why are you not given the opportunity to change and move on from that?
And this is the part where I say,
why is it following you for life?
Create the opportunity for yourself. That's where you really made the mistake. You can't change it.
I've got a solution. I've got the answer.
Go on. What's the
answer is for all you young people listening and watching it, don't get involved in the first place.
There you go.
Don't make a mistake.
But
when you do, it's gonna follow you.
Yeah, of course. But as you know,
and it doesn't mean that it can limit you, because you're looking at someone who has it.
Yeah.
And I've done and do the unthinkable and unspeakable. Glory to God and the people I'm around. But it's been very harder than it would have been if I didn't have those convictions.
Yeah, of course. But you're living proof of you make it for yourself.
100% self-made.
You get me? Brother, this thing is yours, bro. No one else owns this.
100%.
That's your thing. So like, if anyone or everyone
ownership is key.
Has a criminal conviction or criminal record, sorry, it's not a cap. There's no limit that says, okay, I've done 25 years in jail, I've done life. Man's taken a life and I've done 25 years. There's nothing that actually says you're done for.
No.
It's only your mentality. You get what I'm saying?
I got it's all a mindset.
Yeah, it's the mindset, bro.
But for you young people, again, if you can avoid it altogether.
But there's so many ways to avoid it. You know what it is, yeah? There's another thing that
you save yourself a lot of hassle.
I've been deep in, yeah. A lot of these youths are on road for 2 reasons: money or revenge. There's not really another reason for being on road, innit? Even if it's, I'm bored and there's nothing else to do, you're trying to make money, innit? So it's money or revenge. If you're there for money, you're idiot. You're lost. Because there's so many ways to make money that are way more than
9 ways to skin a cat.
Brother, there's so much more money in legal business than it is an illegal business.
Definitely. Multiple streams of income. And it's
Most of these youths are still shooting banners and scores, my brother. What's a banners and scores, fam?
But the hustle is real, the struggle is real.
The struggle is real, the hustle
This is
is real.
This is the realest show out, and the struggle is real.
The struggle
in
is
2021,
real.
the struggle is still real.
I hear you. I've been there. You get me? Like, I'm not gonna act like I ain't been that guy. I've been that guy, but like, it's dead.
But what you're saying is there's other ways to make money.
It's dead, yeah, bro. Wake up, wake up.
If
Even if you are shutting banners and scores and
don't limit yourself.
cues hard,
Look at investing your money into a business.
brother. Even if you don't have that in you, go get a CSCS card. Go work as a labourer for a hot sec and see that that's 300.
Or SIA.
Same time you could be talking
Or
to
SIA,
same time you could be talking to a 14-year-old right now, yeah.
Yeah.
So what you got to be teaching them, they can't just go get a job like that. So what you got to be teaching the young ones, the ones that ain't got a national insurance number yet or whatever,
Yeah.
let them know that they can teach themselves skills that they can make money from. For example, I've got a niece who's 14 who does hair. She charges £15. She's putting money in her pocket. You get what I'm saying? So you also let them know that
For real.
forget the can't say go get a job. You should be 14.
Yeah. That's real.
You got to
still.
talk for the ones that ain't even at that stage yet.
That's real.
Use your mind to stop
Really
thinking
show
that because me at 14 we were broke.
Yeah.
And I thought going country was the way.
Yeah.
I didn't have the opportunity to someone to tell me like learn how to barber.
Just.
Or bruv, clean trainers. There's man out here that make peas off of cleaning man's trainers, bro.
There's man out here that are making peas of cleaning the barbers, but people have too much pride,
But
bro.
that's what you're saying. You
There's
got
too much
knock
pride
that
and
out the
ego.
way.
Yeah.
Your pride will put you in jail, bro.
Your pride and
Because you'd rather go sell drugs than go do something legal that's gonna probably put the same amount or if not more in your pocket.
In the long run as well. Basically, you gotta understand how credit works. You need pay slips to prove where your money's come from. So when you want to get a mortgage or invest in businesses or get loans to invest in bigger companies, you need to track and show where your money's come from. You can't get a pay slip from selling drugs on the street. So when you do get your money from selling drugs, and it's a lot of money, when you go to get a mortgage or when they start running checks and you can't show where your money's come from, it starts asking questions. So in the long run, hard work pays off.
Yeah.
Next question, could you tell us who your role model is and why?
One or many?
Top one. I know you probably got many, but your top role model that you could think of, if you had to say one person, who would it be and why?
Huh? No, because one is myself, innit?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm my top role model, but after that, like, it's mad close is Steven. He's the owner of Box Out, or Box Out Crime, yeah. And on the sole basis of everything that we've said right now, innit? Like, my guy's lived that story, he's lived that life. And now I work in a space, he's given me the keys to change my life, bro, literally.
Hey, big up Steve.
You get me? So,
And big up yourself as well, man.
thanks, man. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, Steven and myself.
Wicked, man. It seems impossible to build and repair the relationships between police and local communities. Why is that?
Because they don't understand us. They have no understanding of what it's like being in the hood. They just see big tower blocks, people that are selling drugs from it, and people that broke in there. They don't know the emotional side of being necessarily broke, innit? Like,
But do you think that they should have to know what it's like for them to be able to relate to us?
yeah. Because same way as a football fan always talks about, oh, the manager should sub this guy, do you know what it's like being a manager, my brother? Do you know what it's like controlling a team of 11 players and people on the sub bench who you know want to play and that are good at playing too? You don't know what that's like, so you have to be in that position to know what that position's like.
But I feel like, do you have to be in that position to treat someone with respect and love and dignity and integrity? Do you have
That's a different space.
Just to treat me basically as a human being, do you have to have any understanding of my culture or what I've been through to show me respect and love?
The crimes that are being committed to the eye of the police officer is inhumane. Selling heroin to someone, knowing that it's ruining someone's life or someone's family, to them is like, oh, you're doing that, so this is how we're gonna treat you. I hear all of that, but either way, they're both wrong, innit?
For every young person struggling with achieving their dreams, what words of advice could you give them?
That's the best question you've asked today.
They say the best answer.
The best answer is the simplest answer I could give. Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going, bro.
Keep going.
Don't give up. Cause the day you give up could have been the day that you make it.
100%. You could be this close. Because you gave up, you didn't make it.
Yeah, bro. For real, for real. Like, even myself, bro, this music thing, I've given up bare times. Bare times. Bare times. And then there was one time, I deeped it. I said, yo, the amount of times I've given up, I could have made something out of that time of giving up in it. So there's no more, I could never give up again.
Don't procrastinate as well.
Yeah,
That's another important
for
one.
real, for real. But I could never give up again. Like, that whole giving up thing is out the window. I tapped out of that years ago. Because it's pointless. It's really pointless, especially when you have something. Like, you know when
You're passionate about something.
yeah, bro. Like, there's bare people that are hard.
passionate about
Like,
what you're doing.
not even in just music, yeah. Just like whether they're painters, whether they're like, you see what it is with other dreams or other creative things that don't necessarily seem as easy. Like, it seems easy to be a rapper these days. It seems like bare rappers are making it left, right, and centre every day.
Until you actually try and make it and see it's a bit
Well, this is, I've been going for 8 years straight, bro. 9 years, you get me? So I know that it's a long game, innit? But if you're a painter, if you're a sound engineer, if you're a producer, they're all different
avenues.
Do you get
to
me?
make income and still
And
pay
they
the music.
all take time. So just keep going and don't think about the money, innit? That's another thing that I would tell. Don't think about the money. It's not about the bag. As much as it is about the bag, it's not about the bag, innit? You get me? Do it for the sake
But
of...
definitely about the bag.
No, but do it for the sake of loving doing it.
But make sure you're passionate about it.
You
as
get
well.
me?
Make
But
sure
it's
you get paid
definitely
for
about
it.
the bag, yeah, of course.
Definitely about the
but
better get
that
bag.
shouldn't be the main thing, though, innit? You get me? The main thing, when that becomes the main
Because when you
thing...
get the bag, what's going to keep you going? The bag? Yeah. But what happens when the bag, you know what I'm saying? You've got enough of the
You get
bag.
me?
Passion's gonna
You
keep
gotta
going.
keep
It won't
that
be about
love
money,
for
it'll be
this
about
thing, but-
the creativity and about the legacy, and that's what it's about. So keep going. When you feel like giving up, keep going.
Keep going.
The Realist Show Out, episode 2. Thank you, Txrner. Big up Txrner, man.
You know the vibes. BB for life. Barking, baby.